Hi everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Sian. Very good morning. So here we are discussing the major current affairs of 12th of June 2025, and the topics are the recent wildlife sanctuary, that is Tamhini, a major conference by India, that is ICDRI 2025, major species in news from Himalaya and the other region. In news category, we will discuss the Thittu Island, major government schemes including the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan and the Ullas program. Shield volcano in news, that is Arshia Mons. We will discuss the national park, that is Indravati, a recent system, that is National Automated Fingerprint Identification System, and the updates of the 16th Finance Commission. In award category, we will discuss the Matrabhumi Literary Award, a recent afforestation project by a state, and that is without the seed shower. A term in news, that is ASIAO, the stratospheric aerosol injection, the PSI technique, and major days in news, the other current and the other. A term in news, that is ASIAO, recently a technique in news, that is PSI, we will discuss it, and the other current affairs of the day. And here we are covering the daily 20 MCQ series of GK Today. But first of all, let us discuss the answer of the last day quiz, and that is the first one. Where was the International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure 2025 held? So, a recent major international conference by an Indian platform, and that is the ICDRI. And the location of this conference, and that is at Nice in France. So recently, the 7th edition of ICDRI was held on 6th to 7th of June 2025 in Nice, France. Basically, it was organized by an Indian platform, and that is the CDRI, which has its headquarters at New Delhi in India, right? So this was the first time the ICDRI conference was held in Europe, and basically CDRI, it is a global platform launched by India in 2019 to enhance infrastructure resilience against climate and disaster risk. So CDRI, it is one of the platform that is launched by the Indian government so that we can boost our infrastructure and can fight against the climate and disaster risk. The theme of this 7th edition of ICDRI, and that is shaping a resilient future for coastal regions, focusing on small island developing states and coastal communities vulnerable to climate change, right? So here we are discussing the ICDRI. So let us recall the 6th edition as well. So the ICDRI 6th edition, it's basically held in New Delhi. The theme of the 6th edition was Investing Today for a More Resilient Tomorrow, and it is also organized by the CDRI, India-led platform, and launched in 2019. Its headquarters is in New Delhi, and the total member countries of the CDRI, that is 46 countries with 8 partner organizations. So a major platform, and that is the CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and its annual international conference, and that is ICDRI, right? So here we are discussing some other major flagship program that is organized by the CDRI. So basically there is a IRIS launched in COP26 at Glasgow, and it is a platform for infrastructure for resilient island states initiated by the India. The next is INDEX, that is GIRI, Global Infrastructure Resilient Index. It is also initiated by the CDRI. A fund is also there, and that is IRAF, initiated in some 2022 by the CDRI. That is an Infrastructure Resilience Accelerator Fund for Capacity Building. And GIRP, basically it is also related with the CDRI, a major initiative by the CDRI, and that is Global Infrastructure Resilience Program, right? And at the last, the ICDRI, the Annual International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. We already discussed it, right? And also there is some other global DRI initiative, the Disaster Resilient Infrastructure Initiative, and that is including the United Nations Early Warning for All. Basically it is initiated by the UN so that it can target the disaster and its risk and can manage the infrastructure, and its target year is by 2027. A policy by the G20, and that is OECD policy. Basically, it is a guidelines for the G20 on resilient transport infrastructure, and a major framework by the United Nations, and that is the Sendai framework, initiated in 2015. Its target year is 2030, and basically it is UN's disaster risk reduction strategy, so that the world can understand the disaster risk, can strengthen disaster risk governance, and can invest in resilience. Overall, all these efforts aligned with major sustainable development goal, and basically the sustainable development goal 11, 13 and 9 respectively, associated with sustainable cities, the climate action, and the industry and innovation, right? So overall you have to remember the CDRI, a major platform by the Indian government to strengthen the infrastructure resilience against climate and disaster risk. Moving on, here we are discussing some major conference in news, and that is, where was the National Conference on AI for Empowering Person with Disabilities held? And that is Bangalore, the location of this conference. The next is, which country is the host of International Conference on Glaciers Preservation? And that country is Tajikistan. Basically, with the support of United States, the Tajikistan recently hosted the International Conference on Glaciers. The next is, where was the National Literacy Conference titled How Much Has Literature Changed held? And the location is New Delhi. Where was the Fisheries Secretaries Conference 2025 held? And the location is also the New Delhi. And where was the 4th Regional Integrated Multi-Hazard Early Warning System Conference held, where the Declaration on Disaster Preparedness was adopted, and its location is Colombo, Sri Lanka. Please note the Declaration on Disaster Preparedness, it is associated with the 4th edition of Regional Integrated Multi-Hazard Early Warning System held at Colombo in Sri Lanka. The next is, which city is the host of 11th Sea Trade Maritime Logistics Middle East Conference, and that city is Dubai. And where was the 2025 World Bank Land Conference held, and its location is the Washington DC in the United States. Moving on, the next one. So recent place in news, and that is the Thitu Island. So Thitu Island, it was seen in news, is located in which region? And that is the South China Sea. So recently a Chinese ship ran aground due to severe weather near Thitu Island, raising alert levels among the Philippine soldiers in the disputed South China Sea. Overall, the South China Sea, it is disputed among the China, Taiwan, Vietnam, and partially between Malaysia and the Philippines. And here Thitu Island, basically it is the second largest natural island in the Spratly group of the island, and the biggest of the 9 occupied by the Philippines. So it comes under the government of the Philippines. It's a territory of the Philippines, the Thitu Island, and recently, just because of the Chinese ship activity, it was in news. So with this question, here we are discussing some other facts related with the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands. The first one, which 1982 international treaty governs maritime rights impacting claims in the Spratly Island, and that is the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, the UNCLO, is associated with the maritime rights and with the major claims in the Spratly Island among the disputed countries. The next one is, which sea lane is considered one of the world's busiest due to its location in the South China Sea, and that is the Malacca Strait between Indonesia and between Indonesia and Malaysia and located nearby the South China Sea, right? And also, what is the name of the line China uses to assert claims in the South China Sea? And that line is the 9-dash line, right? So you have to remember the 9-dash line, the Malacca Strait, and a major treaty, that is UNCLOS. All they are connected with the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands. Moving on, here we are discussing some major current affairs that is related with the place in news category, and that is Rim Naval Base that was recently seen in news is located in which country? And that is Cambodia, and it is a part of the Southeast Asian countries. Simandou Island that was recently seen in news is located in which country? So Simandou, it is located in Guinea. The next one is Chug Valley, which was seen in the news, is located in which state? So it is the part of Arunachal Pradesh. Falkland Islands are located in which ocean? And it is the part of South Atlantic Ocean. Mackinac Island, it was recently seen in news, is located in which country? It is the part of the United States. Samos Island, and it is the part of the Greece. Mount Erebus is located in which continent? And that is Antarctica. Moving on, the next one, a major government scheme in news, and that is the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matrutva Abhiyan, the PMSMA, and it was launched by which ministry? So this scheme comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, currently headed by the JP Nadda, the recent cabinet minister of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently completed its 11 years in office, and the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matrutva Abhiyan has completed some 9 years. So, improving maternal health across India, one of the target of the PMSMA. It was launched in June 2016, comes under the Ministry of Family and Health Welfare, and basically PMSMA. It provides free and quality antenatal care, the ANC, to pregnant women every month. And as per the recent data provided by the PMSMA, the India's maternal mortality ratio, the MMR, has reduced from 130 in 2014-16 to 80 in 2021-23, showing strong impact. Overall question for you, because we are discussing the PM Narendra Modi. So before becoming the PM of India, Narendra Modi served as the CM of which Indian state? We all know that is Gujarat. But in which year did he first assume the office of the CM? So basically Modi was the CM of Gujarat from 2001 to 2014 and is the member of parliament from the Varanasi seat, right? So overall we have discussed the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matrutva Abhiyan. Its implementing year is June 2016. It comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and the primary focus of this scheme is antenatal care for pregnant women. Moving on, here we are discussing some major PM related schemes in news, and that are PM Mitra scheme was implemented by which ministry? And it is by Ministry of Textile. Which state has ranked first in India for implementing the PM Micro Food Processing Enterprise Upgradation scheme? And it is by the Uttar Pradesh. What is the main objective of PM Vidya Lakshmi scheme? And its main objective is to provide financial support to meritorious students for higher education. Which ministry is responsible for implementation of PM Poshan scheme? And that is Ministry of Education. What is the primary objective of PM Ajay scheme? And that is reducing poverty among SC communities. And the primary objective of PM Shri scheme, and its primary objective is setting up model schools with modern infrastructure. The next is PM Vikas scheme was launched under which ministry? And under the Ministry of Minority Affairs, whose cabinet minister is Kiran Rijiju. Let's move to the next one. So here we are discussing some shield volcano in news, but it is not the part of the Earth planet. It is associated with some other. So Archaea Mons is a massive shield volcano located in which planet? And that is option number A, Mars. So recently NASA's 2001 Mars Odyssey orbiter captured a breathtaking image of Archaea Mons volcano rising above early morning clouds on Mars. So basically it is the part of the Mars planet, and exactly it is located in the Tharsis region of the Mars, a giant shield volcano, and that is the Arsia. It stands over 18 kilometers tall and spans more than 300 kilometers wide at its base. It is much larger than Earth's tallest volcano, that is Mauna Loa, which is the part of the Hawaii island, and which is 9 kilometer in the height. And Arsia Mons, it is the southernmost volcano in the Tharsis region of the Mars. And basically just because of the Mars Odyssey, the explorer of the NASA, it was in news. Moving on the next one, here we are discussing some major volcano in news, and that is Kilauea volcano that was recently seen in news is located in which country? So it is the part of US. Sakurajima volcano that was recently seen in news is located in which country? And that is Japan. Anak Krakatau volcano, it is the part of Indonesia. Campi Flegrei, it is associated with Italy. Otarango volcano, it is the part of Bolivia. Poas volcano, it is located in Costa Rica, a major Central American country. And Fuego volcano, it is located in Guatemala, part of the Cuba. Moving on the next one. National Automated Fingerprint Identification System is managed by which organization? So a major system in news, and currently its managing organization is the NCRB, the National Crime Records Bureau. So recently, the central government revised the procedure for the foreigners identification portal under the NAFIS. And recently, for that, states and the UTs have been directed to use fingerprint scanners available in districts through the district police module. And that's why this question was in news, so that the government of India can easily track the foreigners' identification and the data associated with the criminal activity. Basically, NAFIS, it is a pan-India searchable database that stores fingerprints related to crime and the criminals. And NAFIS, it is managed by the NCRB at the Central Fingerprint Bureau in New Delhi, and comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs, right? So just because of a recent update by the central government, this question was in news, right? Overall, here we are discussing the NCRB. So in which year was the NCRB established? And the year is 1986. It comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs, whose cabinet minister we all know, that is Amit Shah. And the NAFIS, it is implemented by the NCRB in the year 2022, so that the government can track the crime and criminal fingerprint identification. Moving on the next one. A major appointment, and that is who has been appointed as a part-time member of the 16th Finance Commission. So recently, the President of India appointed a major personality, and that personality is former Deputy Governor of the RBI, and he is appointed as a part-time member of the 16th Finance Commission, and that is, answer is option number A, T. Ravi Shankar, right? So recently the 16th Finance Commission was in news because its full-time member, that is Sri Ajay Narayan, recently due to some personal reasons has given his resignation to the government of India. And overall, the Finance Commission, it is a constitutional body established under the Article 280, and its main function is to allocate the tax revenues between the central and the state governments, and their tenure is for some 5 years and headed by a chairperson with some 4 other members, right? And here we are discussing the 16th Finance Commission, and their time frame will start from the financial year 26-27 to financial year 2030 to 31, and their chairman, and that is Arvind Pangaria, ex Niti Aayog vice chairperson and a major economist. So you have to remember the name of the T. Ravi Shankar. Recently he joined the 16th Finance Commission as a part-time member, and recently Sri Ajay Narayan has given his resignation to the government of India due to some personal reason. Moving on the next one, which two Indian states have recently declared themselves fully literate under the Ullas program? So here we are discussing the Ullas program, and recently two states declared themselves fully literate under the Ullas, the adult literacy program, and these two states are the Goa and the Mizoram, with the literacy rate of 99.72% and 98.2% respectively. Right? So here Ullas stands for understanding lifelong learning for all in society and is officially known as Nav Bharat Saksharta Karyakram or New Delhi Literacy Program, the NILP. And basically it is a centrally sponsored scheme aligned with the National Education Policy 2020. So overall, with this scheme, recently Mizoram and Goa declared themselves the fully literate under the Ullas Adult Literacy Program. Basically, this scheme, its duration is from 2022 to 27, and its target group is the non-literate adults aged 15 years and above, and the budget allocation for the centrally sponsored scheme, and that is some 1037.90 crore, and basically the center share is 700 crore and the state share is 337.90 crore, right? And recently Mizoram becomes the India's first fully literate state under the Ullas program. Moving on, the next one, who has been conferred with the 2024 Matrubhumi Literary Award. So a major award in news, that is Matrubhumi, and the winner is from Kerala, and that is Sara Joseph. So a prominent writer from Kerala, and that is Sara Joseph, has received the 2024 Matrubhumi Literary Award. Basically the award was presented in Kozhikode, and it includes some rupees 3 lakh cash, a citation, and a sculpture by M.V. Devan recently, right? And Sara Joseph recently was appreciated for her fearless voice in Malayalam literature and social issues. For her bold step, recently the Kozhikode recognized her with the Matrubhumi Literary Award. Before this, she won the Kerala Sahitya Academy and the Sahitya Academy Award. So, point to be remembered, the Sara Joseph recently won the Matrubhumi Literary Award and also associated with the Kerala Sahitya Academy and the Sahitya Academy Award for his fearless and bold work. Moving on, the next one, which state's forest department has launched an afforestation project named Without the Seed Shower. So first of its kind initiative by a state, and that is option number D, Kerala. So on 5th of June, the World Environment Day, the Kerala Forest Department launched an afforestation project named Without the Seed Shower. Basically, Without here stands for India's first aerial seed ball distribution program, and basically it is a community driven campaign to restore greenery and improve forest health. Overall, the objective of this project, so the project aims to reduce human-animal conflicts and revive damaged ecosystem. It boosts biodiversity, increase forest cover, and ensures food for wildlife and people. So point to be remember, recently it is initiated by the Kerala Without the Seed Shower. Moving on, the next one, who won the French Open men's single title 2025, a tennis tournament. So major tennis tournament, recently news, the French Open, and recently it is won by the Spanish player we all know, and that is the Carlos Alcaraz. So the Carlos Alcaraz, that is a Spanish player, won the French Open 2025 by defeating the Jannik Sinner in a thrilling 5-set match in Paris, right? And the French Open, it is also called Roland Garros, and it is one of the world's top tennis tournament. So Carlos Alcaraz recently won the French Open in Paris. Moving on, the next one, a major wildlife sanctuary news, and that is the Tamhini. So Tamhini Wildlife Sanctuary, it is located in which state? And that state is, answer is option number A, Maharashtra. So recently Maharashtra Forest Department has partnered with the Microsoft and Center for Youth Development and Activities, Pune based, to solve socio-ecological issues in Tamhini Wildlife Sanctuary. And this sanctuary, it is a protected forest located in Western Ghats near Pune in the Maharashtra state. Where was the new species of planarium worm named Dugesia punensis recently discovered? And that is Pashan Lake, the Pune. So a new species of planarian worm named Dugesia punensis was recently discovered in Pashan Lake at Pune in Maharashtra. And basically this species, it is aquatic flat worm known for their amazing ability to regenerate lost body parts. Moving on, the next one. Indravati National Park is located in which state? So a major national park in there, that is INP, and it is located in Chhattisgarh. So it is in news because recently security forces encountered Maoists during anti-Naxal operations in Indravati National Park. We all know there is a major operation that is related with the left-wing extremism, including Operation Black Forest and Operation Sankalp. And recently, the Indravati National Park, it is also associated with this major encounter by the CRPF. Overall, the Indravati National Park, it is located in Bijapur district of the Chhattisgarh, and the park is named after the Indravati river, which originates from the Odisha and a major tributary of the Godavari river. Moving on, the next one, Himalayan long-tailed Myotis that was recently seen in news belongs to which species? So a major species from the Himalayan region, and that is long-tailed Myotis, and basically it is associated with the bat. So recently scientists discovered a new bat species called the Himalayan long-tailed Myotis, and basically it is a group of similar bat species that found across eastern China, Taiwan, Siberia, Korea, Japan, Tajikistan and the Uzbekistan. It is considered a rare and native species of this region. Moving on, the next one. What is ASIAO that was recently mentioned in news? So a term in news, and that is ASIAO, and basically it is, answer is option number D. A gelatin made from donkey skin used in traditional Chinese medicine. So recently donkey price in Pakistan have surged due to rising demand from China for ASIAO. So overall ASIAO, basically it is animal based traditional Chinese medicine associated with the donkey. And just because of their higher demand, the prices in the Pakistan for their donkey have surged due to rising demand from China, and that's why this question was in news. Overall, in the past 5 years, China's ASIAO industry grew by some 160%, and now they need some million of donkey for their traditional Chinese medicine. Moving on, the next one. Stratospheric aerosol injection SI technique was inspired by which natural phenomenon? And basically it is associated with the volcanic eruption. So recently a new study is in news. Basically this study suggests a cost-effective method for SI to combat climate change. Overall, SI involves adding reflective particles inspired by volcanic eruption to the stratosphere to cool the earth. While promising, SI faces global opposition due to environmental and ethical concern, and that's why this question was in news. Overall, what natural event inspired the concept of SI? And that is volcanic eruption. And its major objective is to cool the earth. Moving on, the next one. World Accreditation Day is celebrated annually on which day? So a major day in news, that is World Accreditation Day, and annually the date is 9th of June. So it is celebrated annually on June 9, and it was celebrated by the Quality Council of India at India Habitat Center, New Delhi, and that's why this question was in news. Overall, QCI, the Quality Council of India, it is in news. Basically, it is India's national body, functions under the NABH. BL, and recently it partners with global bodies like ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, and the IAF, the International Accreditation Forum, to meet global quality standard. And the theme of this year, and that is accreditation empowering small and medium enterprises for the World Accreditation Day that's celebrated on 9th of June. Moving on the next one, which the state government has recently launched a border tourism initiative to promote sustainable tourism in tribal areas, and basically that state is Himachal Pradesh, whose CM is Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu. So Himachal Pradesh recently has launched a border tourism initiative to promote sustainable tourism in tribal areas near the Indo-China border, and basically it's a major tourism program from the Himachal Pradesh, and it is developed with the union government to support inclusive growth in remote border area, just like Lahul Spiti, Shipkila, the Chitkul, the major tourist region from the Himachal Pradesh. So a border tourism initiative recently in news and initiated by the Himachal Pradesh. It will be inaugurated by the Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu. Moving on, the next one, Piyush Chawla, who recently announced his retirement, is associated with which sport? So major sport personality in news, Piyush Chawla, just because of his retirement, and he is associated with the cricket. So star Indian spin bowler Piyush Chawla recently announced his retirement after a 20-year career. Basically, he announced his retirement from the international and domestic cricket on his social media page. Overall, he was the part of India's winning squad in 2007 ICC T20 World Cup and 2011 ICC Cricket World Cup, and recently he announced his retirement from the international and domestic cricket, and that's why he was in news. Moving on, the next one, which country has created a new plastic that dissolves in sea water within hours, helping fight ocean pollution? So a major sustainable initiative, a plastic that can dissolve in sea water, and it is initiated by the Japan. So researchers in Japan have created a new plastic that dissolves in sea water within hours, helping fight ocean pollution. It was developed by a center based in Japan with the help of University of Tokyo. Basically, it showed a plastic piece dissolving in salt water after stirring for 1 hour. The plastic breaks into safe components that are preceded by natural bacteria, leaving no microplastic behind. It is as strong as petroleum-based plastic, but it is non-toxic, non-flammable, and does not emit the carbon dioxide. And in soil, it breaks down in about 200 hours only. So a recent initiative by the Japan, a plastic that can dissolve in the sea water within hour. So with this question, we have completed the daily 20 MCQ analysis and the topic of today's quiz, and it is associated with the sports current affair, and you have to mention their answer in the comment box, and we will meet with the next session. For more information, you can check the description box just below this video, right? And if any concern, you can mention that in the comment box. Thank you for watching. We will meet with the next session. Wrapping up.